Welcome to the wet hair edition of this vlog. Why am I always coming at you with some crazy ass hair? I don't know, but hey, listen, I am going to the beach. And what that means is that I'm bringing a fuck ton of books with me to the beach. Sorry for this weird lighting. I figured I would hurry up and film the books that I am bringing along with me to the beach before the car gets moving and everything is shaky and weird. So let me show you what I've got. Guys, do you see this ridiculousness? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and my Kindle is still inside charging. Okay, so I have 5 books and a Kindle coming with me because your girl needs options, okay? So I have got Salem slot, just in case I'm feeling like I need a spooky, another spooky, pen pal. I just found out that pen pal was originally posted as a creepypasta. And if y'all don't know what creepypasta is, first of all, you're missing out on some spooky stories. I don't know why people don't talk more about like Reddit no sleep and creepypasta, but they don't get the light of day they deserve. Maybe they're just in the dark because there's creepy stories. Anyway. Oh, I did bring my Kindle. Yep, here's my shiny new Kindle. Barely used it. Bought it to read more ebooks and then anyway, on my Kindle particularly, I want to read the ebook Who's There by Dimas Rio. He reached out to me. He's an independent author, and he reached out to me for a review, an honest review of his book, and I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm such a mood reader. So he's been really nice about not pushing me for reviews. Not that I've ever been pushed, but anyway, I'm bringing The House in the Cerulean Sea by, oh my God, why can't I say that? The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I'm not bringing any sort of dust covers because that's a recipe for disaster. Okay, and then, why is it so dark in here, guys? I'm bringing this monster, Midnight Sun, because maybe I need some Edward vibes. Like, is that a problem? No. Okay, and then the last book, My Best Friend's Exorcism. I will not be reading these the whole 4 days that I'm at the beach. Like, not all of them. I've already started The House in the Cerulean Sea, so that's lovely. I'm about 20 pages in, honestly, and it's already right up my alley. I'm really feeling these vibes. I like the main character so far. He definitely seems like a quiet, sort of introverted character. I'm really into that. And then if I finish The House in the Cerulean Sea, it's going to be a really big toss-up between Midnight Sun and My Best Friend's Exorcism. The thing about Midnight Sun that I'm wary of is that it's 900 plus pages, and I don't want to cement myself into such a long book on vacation, and then I have to jump into SUMMERWEEN, the SUMMERWEEN readathon. So if I end up picking up My Best Friend's Exorcism or even Salem's Lot, I will sort of blend all of this vlogging that I do into my SUMMERWEEN vlogging, because I'm at the beach reading some spookies. Like, how much more SUMMERWEEN can it get? All right, I'm going to go finish packing the car and get this beach thing on the road. And then we're going to read, guys. We are going to read. See ya. Hello, my sweet loves. If I sound funny, it's because I'm actually sitting in a bathroom. I'm literally sitting on a toilet, but it's closed. I have my pants on. This isn't weird, I promise. But I just wanted to film here because it's rather bright and cheerful, and the blue background is actually real nice. And I just wanted to get away for a little bit from the rest of the house, and they're all just chilling. So we're here at the beach house we rented. We're just going to be here for the weekend. I left yesterday, which is Thursday. So today's Friday, and I haven't gotten very much reading done really. I have listened a little bit to Kill Creek by Scott Thomas, I believe his name is, on audiobook, and that is going very well. I don't know if I actually got to tell you about that. That is about a haunted house, and it is about a bunch of horror authors who are going to stay in this haunted house for 2 days, one of those days being Halloween, and I guess they're going to be interviewed / recorded. I haven't gotten very far, but I'm very intrigued at the premise because your girl loves some spooky stuff, as you well know. But the main attraction of this weekend really is the House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I don't know why I can't get this title right, but I have just broken the 100-page mark, and guys, so everyone has been raving about this book, and truly it is just plain phenomenal so far. I understand the hype. I'm not very far in, but the characters, the main character, Linus Baker. So if you don't know what House in the Cerulean Sea is about, it's about a man named Linus Baker, and he works for the government, particularly the department that is in charge of magical youth. So he basically looks in and checks into a bunch of orphanages that take care of magical young people, children, and he makes sure that everything is up to code, everyone's safe, everyone's happy, and if they're not, he recommends that the orphanages be shut down. And he doesn't really know much beyond that. It's sort of above his pay grade. He says that constantly. It's above his pay grade, but he takes a lot of pride in his work. He's very thorough, but he's also a very quiet, lonely person. And I just think Linus Baker is the main character of the century. He's just so sweet, and obviously wants more for himself, but is sort of trapped in this job that he likes and finds important, but it also somehow finds it soul crushing. So that's super interesting. And the part that I'm at is that he basically gets assigned to check in on a particular orphanage, the House in the Cerulean Sea, because that house houses 6 particular children that are very interesting, have very interesting magical qualities about them. And so this is sort of a classified, high-level assignment for him. He's never had this sort of thing assigned to him. He's never had this much recognition, and he's never had this much contact with upper management. Guys, I don't know much about the story just yet because I'm not far in, but it is so fantastic. It sort of reads like a middle grade for adults, which I feel like if a middle grade is done well, it reaches across age spectrums. And it definitely gives me sort of series of unfortunate events kind of vibes, in the sense that it's very dry and witty and very matter of fact, but also has a lot of personality. I am so excited to be reading this book. It's just giving me everything I want so far. And I happen to be at the beach reading about a house that is on the ocean. So I'm near the ocean. They're on an island, not to be mistaken by a house floating in the sea. Anyway, that's my very quick update right now. We have a full day of just relaxing ahead of us, so hopefully I'll be able to get to read more, and I'll check in back with you very soon.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving.
Hello, my dear sweet little goblins. It is, what is today? Oh my God, it's Saturday. Okay, vacation is starting to blur days together, as if quarantine wasn't already doing that to me. Yeah, being at a beach house right now is lovely, but I just don't know where and when I am. So I'm sitting here with a giant bag of Smart Pop because, guys, what is life without popcorn? And a cup of tea. And I am just about to break the 200-page mark. I am on page 190 on The House in the Cerulean Sea. And guys, I don't know how to begin describing how much I love this book. I think Linus Baker is a very interesting main character because he's very complicated. There's a lot of different layers to his personality, aside from being someone who is very by the book, very obviously kind of lonely, and a sort of sheltered fellow. He's also someone who obviously wants to get out of that bubble of his, but he just sort of struggles going against the grain. He doesn't like to live outside of the rules. He finds it uncomfortable. He likes structure. And honestly, as someone who is introverted and very type A, I can identify that with that 100%. There is just a lot of myself that I see in Linus, and even though that I find certain parts of Linus hard to like, I can understand why he is the way he is because of the way I am. I love all of the children in here. They have such personalities, and the island that they're on, I think even that has a personality of its own. And I just think that TJ Klune has really done well to sort of build this world, this sort of isolated world on this island with these children, with Linus, with the master of the house, with the island owner, so to speak. I don't want to give away any spoilers, so I'm going to try and not be specific about the side characters because they are a big part of this book. Other than that, I am just sitting in this beautiful big beach house alone because we were out at this ocean and I just got really hot and tired, and I'll be honest, I'm the first person to like peace out if it's just too hot. It's still very lovely. I just felt like I wanted to take advantage of being alone in the house, maybe update you guys a little bit. I'm really loving this book, and you know, I am just about halfway through, and if they don't if TJ Klune absolutely doesn't bomb this ending, I think it's gonna be a 5 out of 5 stars for me. And I think the setting of this being on an island near the ocean type of deal, and me also being near the ocean, is really, really nice. I'm enjoying the ambiance. But for now, I will finish with updating you. I'm going to slam my face into this bag of popcorn because hello, what else do you do with popcorn? I mean, who are those freaks out there who like eat it one kernel by kernel? You have to like jam your hand into the popcorn and then shove it into your face because that's how you're supposed to live life. Am I right? I'm right. I'm right. Okay, goodbye. Hello, my sweet little goblins. This is the end of this beautiful, wonderful reading vlog. And I say beautiful, not because I think it's particularly beautiful in terms of footage, but because this book, this book is beautiful. I have so many thoughts and feelings to process. I've literally just finished it, and honestly, I'd love to just start it all over again. And there are very few books that I feel this way about. When I closed the book, finally, after finishing the last page, I was just filled with so many overwhelming notions of love, acceptance, and absolute joy. This book was pretty much perfect. I'm gonna give my star rating now, and it's 5 out of 5 stars. If I could give it more, I would. So I'm going to launch into my full review right now, so I'm asking you just to be a little patient. I don't think this will be as long as I'm hoping it'll be, but I will try and keep it as short as I possibly can. And I will also talk about the audiobook that I was listening to during this vlog, which is Kill Creek by Scott Thomas, and that will come after my review of The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Also, before I get into my review, I have a really fun package to unbox. And this is sort of bookish, not really. I got, ooh, look at this paper. So this is by an Etsy company called Created by Ray. And the sticker says, made with a lot of love and a lot of coffee. Such shiny paper, I love it. Oh, look at that pumpkin pin hoop. I love it. How utterly sweet. Guys, I have been running out of space on my one pin hoop, and with a bunch of book boxes coming up in the next couple of months, because I resubscribed to everything because it's spooky season and I love the themes coming out right now, I figured it would be just good to get a new pin hoop. So that's my little unboxing right then and there. It's so cute, I love it. Okay, so let's talk about The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Of course, what else are we gonna talk about? That's all I've been reading these past couple days. So I'm gonna put this down. Actually, I'll put it right here so that you guys can look at it. Now, where do I even begin? Where do I find the words to review this book? I think everyone can understand what it feels like to be your own worst enemy, to be the one who is sort of inhibiting your own success and growth because you just have so many doubts and insecurities about your capabilities and your life in general. This story is about Linus Baker, a caseworker for the department in charge of magical youth. The story is also about Arthur Parnassus, who is the master of the orphanage in which magical youth's children reside. And it's also a story about 6 absolutely beautiful, wondrous children. And this is where Linus goes on an adventure and finds not only the most magical of people, but also a little bit of himself. And this all takes place in the Cerulean Sea, a little house on an island. This book is all about being uplifting, encouraging, and it really just hammers home the importance of self-acceptance and forging the life that you want. It also happens to be a really positive representation of what happens when someone uses their seemingly small voice to stand against injustice and discrimination. The lessons in this book are very apparent, but they don't sort of hit you over the head. They're not overt morality lessons, even though they are. I think TJ Klune does a really good job of being subtle but also overt. He's very well crafted with his words in imparting these lessons to not only the reader but the characters in the book. TJ Klune also does an excellent job of having his main character, Linus Baker, but also having a lot of these other side characters that feel like main characters. So what that means is that you're going to read this book and you're going to feel like you know every single one of these characters personally and closely, because he does such a good job of developing their character arc and, you know, completing that circle. And I just felt, as someone who's very character driven, I felt like this really just hit a sweet spot for me. I loved learning every single one of these characters' backstories, and I enjoyed the ride. The main character, Linus Baker, feels like a realistic representation of what happens when someone decides to choose the life they want to lead despite fear. We begin the story by following him through his daily life of routine, detachment, and quiet desperation, and we get to watch him blossom into his own. And it ends up relaying a very important notion of no matter who you are, how old you are, how insignificant you may feel, you are worthy of the life you want. And I just don't know any other lesson. Well, there probably plenty of other lessons that are worth knowing. But I think in this day and age, I think that's worth something to be shouted from the rooftops, if you know what I mean. Honestly, guys, this book was everything and more for me. There was a lot of hype around the house in the Cerulean Sea, and everyone that I knew, like people that I trusted, their book opinions, everyone was saying that this was the best book and that it gave them all the feels and they wanted to read it over and over again, and it was probably their most favorite book of the year. And I'm here to report that they were all right. Anyone who tells you that this book is less than 5 stars, I'm sorry. You're welcome to your opinion, but your opinion is wrong, because this book is just so wholesome. It really does feel like a middle grade for adults, and I don't know, just everything about it was just so heartwarming, and I genuinely felt myself getting emotional. I definitely felt tears pricking at my eyeballs, because there were just so many things that I was like, wow. As someone who used to be really shy and who still is sort of like, I'm not gonna say that I'm a slave to routine, but I find comfort in routine. And who feels like they need to take calculated risks. Yeah, I'm definitely a calculated risk person, but I read this book and just felt like it spoke to me in so many different ways, and I will probably read this book over and over and over again into my lifetime, and if and when I have children, I will probably read this book to them. Honestly, this is right on par with Harry Potter, and that's a bold statement to say, but honestly, it was just such a positive book, and there were so many different types of representation in this book. It just really felt so inclusive and welcoming for everyone and all walks of life, whoever might end up reading this book. I can't recommend this book highly enough. Okay, now that I'm done gushing about The House in the Cerulean Sea, which go read it if you haven't. If you don't own it right now, read it, just read it. But let's talk about Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. Now, I'm not very far. I don't think I broke past chapter 5. So things are really just getting started, which is interesting because even though I was listening to bits and pieces of it while I was at the beach, I felt like we had already gone deep into the story, which is very exciting because there's so much left of the book and I'm ready to be scared. Guys, so this book, if I hadn't already stated earlier, is about a haunted house. And essentially a man who's sort of like an internet tycoon, his name is Wainwright, I don't remember his first name. He solicits the interest of 4 very well-known horror authors of their time, and he gets them to agree to a 2-day interview in this haunted house called Kill Creek Manor. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. But they're going to do this interview on Halloween day, stay Halloween night, and then I guess leave November 1st. And I can just already tell that it's starting to build the atmosphere. And there is something so very interesting about the internet tycoon Wainwright. They keep hinting that there's something not quite right with him. And I'm very interested to see that flesh out. Literally, figuratively. It's going to be a good time, but I am going to be filming for Summerween, and I hope this vlog, I posted before I post all my Summerween vlogs, but it's probably going to bleed into that readathon since it's horror based, at least for me. But right now it's really doing it for me. Nothing scary has happened yet, but the anticipation and the atmosphere is building and I am here for it. All right, guys. So sorry that was such a long sit down moment for us, but I had to gush about The House in the Cerulean Sea and just catch you up on a few things. It's been sort of a jam-packed weekend and I just want to end it in a full sort of complete circle. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It helps you know, or it helps me know, rather, what you like on my channel, what I should keep doing, and it helps my channel out just in general. And hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you always know when I've got good stuff coming at you. Bye, y'all.